freedom, peace, prosperity. Things we take for granted in the modern world. But what if I told you those liberties were in dire peril? Enemies from the far reaches of the galaxy are closing in on our perfect society. Enemies that have no intention of stopping anytime soon. Our way of life is in danger, so we need the bravest of the brave. We need you. Become a Helldiver today for only around I think $50, 50, 60 bucks the game is. I should probably check that, but I don't know. 50 to 60 bucks though is not a bad price actually, and I was happy to pay it for reasons I'll get to soon enough. As you saw in the title, today I'm giving my honest thoughts and reviewing Helldivers 2. A game that came out of nowhere about a month ago, but somehow seems to be taking the gaming world by storm. And I think I know why. So you know what? Let's just jump right into this review. Helldivers, unlike most popular multiplayer games, is a purely PvE experience. You and 3 other friends can choose a planet to defend from a decent sized list across the galaxy. Depending on the planet, you're faced with 2 different factions. Now, let me just clarify, I don't know how they're properly pronounced, and I'm gonna pronounce them the way I pronounce them. If you've got a problem with that, take it up in the comments, please. I need that, what's it called, interaction? I don't know, I need the interaction, whatever. There's the Terminids, a never-ending hive-like swarm of bug aliens, or the Automatons. Some people call them Automatons, that's what I'm calling them. They're a robot army hellbent on destruction. I think. I don't actually know the lore too well, and I'm pretty sure there's a good chance that we're the bad guys in this game. But hey, no price is too high in the name of freedom, am I right? Now, there's definitely a fan favorite faction to fight, but both are well designed in my opinion. Once on the planet, you're tasked with a random operation with a set timer depending on the scale of the mission. Once the main objective is complete, you can exfil off the planet back to your super destroyer. Pretty simple concept, but let me explain to you why this is the most fun I've ever had playing a purely multiplayer game. Now, I was gonna do a pros and cons list type thing to get the stuff I didn't like out of the way first. Then I realized there's really not that much I don't like about the game. I have very little criticisms. Normally I have a lot, but I definitely still do have a few for this game. I'm also not just saying that because everyone else likes it. I was genuinely kind of scared I was going to dislike this game when I first got in, but I was pleasantly surprised. Let's begin with the gameplay. There's a few different things you can do to set yourself up before even getting in the game. The armory allows you to select what you want to drop in with. Your armor and weapons are the main thing we'll be looking at here. How to obtain these items will be addressed later in the progression section of the video. The weapons in this game are kinda awesome. I don't have everything unlocked yet, so I'm guessing some stand above the rest, but everything seems pretty viable in combat. So whatever weapon you want to use, just pick it, lock and load, and you're good to go. This game subtly also has a build mechanic for your character. Different armor pieces have passive buffs like stealth capabilities, longer throwing ranges, and better accuracy with heavy weapons. Along with the stratagems, you can really define what kind of soldier you want to play as. Stratagems are another great way to personalize your diver. They're different ordinances that you can call in while on a hostile planet. And there is a ton to choose from. They range from flamethrowers, napalm strikes, laser cannons, sentry turrets, jetpacks,
Nothing's happening.
Oh, whoa!
That's cool.
drones, and an even bigger laser. Depending on what you pick, they can actually make a significant impact on the battlefield, which leads into another aspect I love about the game: teamwork. Oh, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, man? Of course, you can be a lone wolf and head on a mission alone, but you genuinely feel outgunned, forcing you to take a more cautious approach. Which is pretty cool that you have the option to do that, but having a team of friends allows you to strategize beforehand. You can see exactly what kind of mission you're embarking on and what each person needs to bring. One person could be a scout with a jetpack and a sniper. The other, a heavy gunner who brings along all the specialized weapons for the team. I really like this because everyone starts the exact same. You don't pick a specific role at the beginning and you're trapped with it. You become that role by choosing what you want to bring and how you want to play. There's so much room for mixing and matching playstyles that the game becomes quite diverse on every launch. Now that you have everything selected, you can jump straight down into your operation. There's a few different missions like destroying bug eggs, rescuing citizens, and a personal favorite, hunting the Bile Titan. It's badass. But since there's so many, it keeps the game fresh each time. Even if you're playing the same mission twice in a row, it'll still be different because of the random hazards and the freedom you're given to explore the terrain. You can come across outposts, random patrols, and even some quick side missions that'll all give you extra XP at the end of the game. There's also that timer I mentioned earlier, which normally I just despise timers in games. I feel like it limits your freedom a lot. But not in this game, not this game. I actually prefer it. 40 minutes is the perfect amount of time in my opinion to search around the map, do some side missions. Damn!
What was that?
The bomb.
Complete the main objectives.
I'm gonna land on this bitch.
Run!
Watch this.
Yeah! Boom! Yes!
Took him.
It actually worked! And get out. No! I'm gonna die! The fun part is it adds an extra bit of pressure that you have to plan for. Like, shit, can we really hit all the side missions and make it back to the exfil point on time? I don't know. But I do know that it can lead to some very badass close call moments with your team. I like how every mission ends on an intense note as you wait for your ride while waves of enemies swarm you. But in reality, it actually doesn't always have to be intense. Sometimes they just won't spawn in, and sometimes you'll plan accordingly. Sentry turrets, baby. The next thing I want to tackle are the enemies in the game. They're fantastic. They have amazing enemy design in Helldivers. Both factions have just enough variation amongst their troops to keep the gameplay loop interesting. And honestly, I didn't even expect to see the automatons in the game. I thought it was just going to be shoot bugs, Starship Troopers type stuff. And I think Helldivers could have released with just the bugs, and I don't think anyone would have complained, considering how most games turn out on launch nowadays. But no, they had a whole separate faction ready for us that completely changes the way you go about combat. So if you ever manage to get bored of one side, you have a completely different game waiting for you. The factions serve as two distinct styles. The Terminids are an overwhelming swarm that keep things chaotic constantly. They use large numbers to distract you from that massive hulking jackass that's about to bully you so hard you'll wish you were still in high school. Seriously, these things have to be stopped. They're mean, and they've hurt my feelings on more than one occasion. I hate them, but I love them. In all seriousness though, I really like the Terminid forces. Again, the Bile Titan is probably one of the coolest things I've seen in a video game. It's not the most complicated mechanic out there, but I enjoy the fact that it's not just shoot them constantly. Some have armor that you have to maneuver around to find weak points or call in a specific stratagem for the threat at hand. The automatons, on the other hand, are a different threat entirely because they have guns. Big guns and a lot of guns. They too will have overwhelming numbers, just not to the same degree as the bugs. The real danger is the fact that 90% of them are ranged fighters. So if you think that charging in guns a-blazing is a good idea, think again, cause they will light you the fuck up. So then you'll be thinking, let me adapt my style a bit, okay? Here, let me do a little bit of range fighting. Boom! That's when they send in the chainsaw guys to blow you out of cover, flushing you straight into the line of fire. It's actually really cool how the different troops work well to complement each other in battle. The AI in this game are beautiful. The ones that are supposed to be smart move in sporadic ways. The ones that are supposed to be fodder, you know, run into the line of fire without a single thought. Once you've spent enough time with your bad guys, you can start to identify patterns and behaviors, which allows you to outmaneuver or trick them entirely. These are the signs of well-made AI. There should be some skill and memorization required to be efficient at killing them. To wrap up this gameplay portion, I just want to say I think the biggest strength of the game is, funny enough, the freedom. There's so much freedom in how you want to play, what you want to bring, where you want to go. It's just go, play, have fun. I love it. Quickly here, I'll go over how the progression works. It's not complicated at all, but it is very much appreciated. The reason I said I was nervous about Helldivers is because it's a purely online game, which usually means microtransactions out the wazoo and scummy business practices. But I was very pleasantly shocked when I saw that you get rewarded by playing the game? What? You can get XP, stratagem credits, samples, and medals, and guess what? None of those things are able to be purchased with real money. The only thing that can be are super credits for the store and the extra battle pass. That's right, I said the extra battle pass. The regular base one is completely free. It gives you something to work towards as all the guns and armor are in there. That's what you use the medals for, which you get by completing main objectives. And if you do manage to finish the regular battle pass, there's enough super credits in there to buy cool stuff from the store or just get the other battle pass entirely. You really do not have to spend any actual money in this game, which is refreshing. It doesn't stop there though with the progression, as there's still samples and the stratagem credits. Stratagem credits allow you to buy new stratagems as you level up. You get them by completing objectives and side missions. The samples are acquired in-game and go towards upgrading your ship, which can have a plethora of different buffs on the battlefield. So these currencies aren't just there to unlock cool new toys, they force more diverse gameplay out of us, especially the samples, which you will drop if you die in-game. I think that's a really cool concept. A currency that isn't awarded at the end, but you pick up mid-game. That's really all I had to say. It's great, it's simple, and it encourages unique gameplay. Fantastic stuff! Oh, and I guess I'll just throw this in here. This is, I think, my only complaint really about the game, and it's not even a big one. This is kind of nitpicking at this point. I think the customization is slightly lacking. Specifically the fact that you can't choose your colors. I just thought it was weird because some of the armor pieces look horrendous together, only because the colors don't match. That got me thinking though, if you could choose your colors, you shouldn't have full freedom. This is the only thing I think they should limit in the game. Because if you did have full control, you'd be seeing bright pink Helldivers running around on the field, which would kind of take you out of the experience a bit, or it would for me at least. Normally, I'm all for full customization. Like, I was really mad when Halo did shaders, because I think you should be able to do, it's freaking Halo, you should be able to do whatever you want. But in this game, being immersed is kind of important, as the next section will say. So I'm thinking maybe they do a shader system, where you can't use absolutely outlandish colors. You can just at least match the colors of your dude. So the helmet isn't bright orange, while you got like a army green thing on. It won't look good. That's really all I had to say. That's my only nitpick, I think. Another reason I wasn't too confident in Helldivers was because most online games lack immersion, in my opinion. I like getting immersed in the world around me, or at least what I'm doing, and I can never manage to do that with these super competitive multiplayer games. Which, you know, it makes sense. That's not really what they're for. But Helldivers, for a few different reasons, allows me to get really into it and live out that Starship Trooper fantasy. I believe the graphics are a huge benefactor when it comes to the immersion. This is my first game on my new PC and it's just mind-boggling. The detail is insane. Sometimes I can't just stick to one planet because I just love looking at the scenery around me. I love being able to fight in such vastly different environments, especially the desert and jungle planets. The detail on the enemy's movement really sells it for me. The way the bugs crawl over the landscape and vibrate with constant micro movements. They feel real, especially when you're able to blow parts of their bodies off. Also, the most immersive and genius part of Helldivers is the galactic war itself. Every single player is fighting for a common goal. The game has united players across the board like never before.
I'm totally gonna kill Gage next round.
Give me some sugar, come on.
Thanks, man. When have you ever seen a game put the console wars on halt like this game has? PlayStation players want the game to come to Xbox so we can all work together. That's kind of insane. Gamers are so immersed in the war that it becomes very easy to make friends while playing. How could you not? The teamwork involved in this game forces camaraderie out of you and your team. I hope this makes a big impact on the gaming industry. This is how you bring players together. I don't know, something about Helldivers sets it apart from most recent multiplayer games of this time. That didn't sound right. I don't know, something about Helldivers sets it apart from other multiplayer games of recent times. Maybe this next section will kind of explain it a little better. Now, if you saw my Call of Duty Zombies video, link in the description, you'll know that I look for one very important thing when I'm choosing what game I want to play. Soul. Now, yes, that can be a very subjective term, but let me explain here a bit. When I saw the first trailer, I had some hints of Soul. I saw a unique style, creativity, and humor, and then I was like, is it possible this game might actually give a fuck about its players? Maybe. I feel that games like Fortnite and modern Call of Duty see you as purely numbers. Now, I'm not saying they're bad games because I haven't even played the new Call of Duties, and Fortnite, it's alright. But it seems to me like the elements in the game aren't meant for pure enjoyment. They're there to keep you grinding away, and they change it up just enough to make you think they care, but no, they're just desperately trying to keep their numbers up. The Zombies mode of Modern Warfare 3 is a great example because it follows a similar design to Helldivers. You drop into a map with a timer, complete objectives, and leave. The issue with the COD version of this is it's an absolute grind fest. The only reason you're there is to unlock skins. Like, are people actually interested in fighting these clunky, reused assets? Probably not. While Helldivers' progression goes hand in hand with the game. The game is actually fun. You feel enticed to play not just because of the progression, but also the pure gameplay. It's kind of crazy that I have to say that nowadays, but yeah, sometimes you gotta make the game fun, you know? When I look at Helldivers, I don't see a company who's throwing things in just to prolong the game's lifespan, but a team who's trying to genuinely give us the most fun product they can. As I'm writing this script, updates are coming and dropping that are making the game better and better. I believe they just dropped environmental hazards like fire tornadoes, which adds even more detail and excitement to each planet. We're also getting mechs in the game. Sorry, I just realized I have to change my script a bit here. It was me saying I think we're getting mechs soon, which is awesome, but they're already here. It happened as I was writing this. We got mechs. The game just came out, we're already getting these huge updates. We're not just getting little balancing updates here, we're getting practically free DLC with this game. I think that's a good indicator that they give a shit. And also, I am 100% sure, I feel like everyone knows this, we're definitely getting a new faction soon, and probably new missions for the old factions. So, that's kind of awesome. And also, this is something I just started thinking of while I was writing the script. Kind of off topic, but it goes hand in hand with the Soul, I think. I think this is also really, really cool. I realized that Earth has a liberation meter. I never even thought of the fact that we could actually get pushed back to Earth. What happens if Earth gets overrun? Do we lose? Do the servers just shut off? Also, what happens if we push the enemies back to their home planets? I also learned that there's a dungeon master for this game. The man's name is Joel, and Joel is the guy who controls everything, where they're attacking, how strong the forces are, that kind of stuff. And then, boom, it dawned on me. Something genius is going on here. We're playing a purely multiplayer game, right? There's no campaign, right? Wrong! We are creating it. We are playing through a live campaign. The events that happen are up to how we respond to Joel's attacks. A story will be written over the time we play. I think potentially big things could happen. Obviously, like Earth being attacked, or maybe new story elements released on certain planets. Or maybe an entire faction being wiped off the board. If this is what's happening, this could be one of the coolest things in gaming. I'm not joking when I say it could be revolutionary for the industry. This is how you do a live service video game. Oh, and by the way, I'm just adding this in right now. I think I'm definitely right about that. We're writing our own campaign here because the automatons were attacking a few days ago, and they said if we lost against them, I believe they would have stolen the technology for the mechs, and I don't know if we would have gotten them. There's a chance we would not have gotten the mechs. So that is already something that we have decided what has actually happened in the course of the game. Pretty dope. Okay, I think that's enough. I've gotten my point across. The game is pretty awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and give it an 8.5 out of 10. Now, the reason it's not any higher is because anything higher would have to have some crazy nostalgic value, or the game must have had to, like, touch my heart in some way. 8.5 is pretty high for me. Anyway, that's all for this review. Subscribe, please, for more content like this, reviews and gaming videos, and whatever I want to do, honestly. I'll be making sure to post some actual Helldivers gameplay soon, because this game is pretty funny with friends, too. Other than that, I got nothing to say. Have a good one, have a great day, or night, or afternoon, maybe, blah, 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 whatever. See you later. Ka-chow.